foldable phones are finally starting to make more sense. So if you've been following the tech world at all, you know that foldables have been one of those things that companies have been trying to crack for a while. And there was a ton of hype around them a couple years ago. But we didn't really see a ton of progress after the first few attempts. But now things are starting to get really interesting with Samsung's new foldable phones. First off, the Z Flip 4 is now a very real product that you can buy right now, and it starts at $999. It has great reviews, and people seem to be very happy with it. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Instead, I want to focus on the flip phone form factor, because I think that this could actually be the best way to do a folding smartphone. So my favorite thing about the flip form factor is that it feels like you're getting two phones in one. You've got this compact device that you can carry around with you and use just like a regular phone.
Wow.
But then when you want to consume media or play games or do anything where having a larger screen would be helpful, you can open it up and get that bigger display. So you're essentially getting the best of both worlds. And another thing that I love about the flip form factor is that you've got the ability to have two displays. The cover display is great for checking notifications or doing certain widgets. But then you also have the main display, which is a much larger space to work with. It's a bigger canvas for playing games or watching videos. And so from a user experience perspective, it kind of feels like you're using a tablet rather than a phone. Samsung says that the cover display is 10%. It's larger than the previous generation, and it also has a new aspect ratio that's closer to a square, which makes it better for displaying notifications and widgets. They've also added a new feature called Taskbar, which allows you to jump quickly between open apps or minimize an app to a resizable floating window. Now the main display is 6.7 inches, which is very similar to the Galaxy S22 Plus, so it's definitely large enough for consuming content. But I feel like having that aspect ratio with the narrower width makes it a little bit easier to hold in one hand. Another big design change is that the hinge is now a much slimmer profile, and they've also moved it to the middle of the device instead of offsetting it to one side. I think that this looks much cleaner, and it also means that you get a more balanced weight distribution. The cameras have also been updated, and they still have the same megapixel counts. But the main camera now has a larger image sensor, and it also supports 8K video recording. There's also a new front-facing camera on the cover display which can do 1080p video. Now the processor in the US market is going to be the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. There's no word yet on whether other markets will get the newer Samsung Exynos chip. The battery capacity is slightly larger this year at 3,700 mAh, and there's support for 25-watt fast charging. There's also wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. Now one thing that hasn't changed is the price. The 256GB version still starts at $999, which puts it right in the same ballpark as the Galaxy S22 Plus. And I think that that's pretty interesting because you're getting this bleeding edge technology for the same price as a flagship phone. There's definitely some compromises in terms of durability, because you do have a moving part with the hinge, so it's not going to be quite as rugged as a regular phone. But the fact that Samsung has offered the same warranty on the Z Flip 4 as they do on their regular flagships shows that they definitely think that this is going to hold up well over time. I also think that the flip form factor is less prone to display burn-in, because you're not always going to have static elements on the display. So if you're going to use this phone for 5 years, I don't think that burn-in is really something that you should worry about. If you can look past the crease, the Z Flip 4 is an amazing package, and I think that it could be the perfect phone for a lot of people. But let me know what you guys think. You think that the flip form factor is the future of smartphones? Comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.